Basically talking to you guys about facing my fears on social media, which is such a good topic, I think, like as coaches, obviously, that's a huge part of our business. So I wanted to start with like confidence in yourself because that's basically where I started with all of this. Um, so basically, like in order to have confidence, it's not about like having followers on social media because you can't start from like having a ton of people following you. We all start from like having nobody following us or just like a few people. So it's not about being big. It's not about like being insta famous or whatever. So like if that's in your brain, you can just like get that out of your brain. And so basically when I started like facing my fears on social media, I was like, how do I become more confident like in myself and in my journey? And basically that comes from belief. So like you need to have belief in yourself and in the products. So you want to believe that they will actually work and that they will do what they say they do. So and then like belief in yourself, that comes from like knowing that as a coach you're going to follow through and like support the girls in their journeys. And then basically I was a little afraid of that in the beginning, but when you think about it, it's honestly like so simple. And like that, like coaching is so simple. It always comes back to this. Like literally I think of it as like a football game, and there's like the challenger like running to the end zone with their football, and they're just like, I don't know if I can do this. And you as a coach, like your job is basically to just like run with them and like cheer them on and like tell them, yes, like you can do it, and like run with them to the end. Like you're not like dragging them there, like you can't do it for them. And you're basically like sharing through that, like, this is what I did. Like, this was my journey. Like you were telling them along the way, like how you did it. So anyways, basically that's like the big picture, whatever. We need confidence and belief. And so just going more into detail with my story and like how I did this was in the beginning when I started off, like big picture, I like do not like franchisement. I don't like big companies. Like I don't like McDonald's, like all those. Like that's just not who I am. Like the big names and brands or whatever. I love like little unique places. Like I went to Europe in high school and I loved like the coffee shops I went to because there was no like name to them. Like they were just what they were. So that was what I like was hesitant with Beachbody. I was just like, I don't like this name. Like I don't like the label and all that. But the cool thing is that it works. So like you can just forget about the label and be like, well, it's like, it actually works. So who cares? So I didn't want to associate myself like with a company. I wanted to be me, and I did not want to be like a salesperson through the company. But that's like the amazing thing I learned about Beachbody is that it's not like, you're not being a salesperson. You're not like being salesy. Like Beachbody lifts up like the individual because the power of stories is what like gets people into the community. And like, that's how you like change lives, is like the power of like using your transformation in your story. And so what I love is like Beachbody uses people's stories. And then like going back to the transformation thing, like I didn't even have a crazy transformation, but what my transformation was like, so I lost 20 pounds like in a course of a year probably. And then that was all from like other fitness stuff and like just trying to like calorie count and like stuff like that. My brother was a weightlifter, and so he was helping me. But what the 21-day fix did for me was ridiculous. Like it wasn't like an insane like 100-pound weight loss journey, but I lost like 6 pounds in just like one 21-day fix. So that's like ridiculous compared to like 20 pounds in a year. Like that's insane to me. So basically like through this personal like fitness journey, I like gave up the scale. Like I gave up like caring about like losing like certain amount of pounds. Like I gave up all that like imagery stuff, and I'm more focused on like feeling good. And that like just happened naturally with the fix and like doing the programs. And so what I realized is that like this translated to my coaching journey. So like all throughout doing the fix like multiple times and then the extreme, I was like becoming more confident, not only like in my body and my skin and in my clothes, like I was becoming more confident in my coaching journey. So that's really awesome. And that's like why it's so important to start with a program. But And then as well as that, like throughout that whole process, I was like quietly mentioning the program and all the products and everything like that to my parents and like my community, like just my people in my world. And that was like the key, is like I was like quietly mentioning it because I'm just like a people pleaser naturally, and that's just not how this works. Like you can't just like people please. Like you have to be you, and you have to like go all the way. And so like with this quietly mentioning, like I was getting no responses with like my warm market. So like all the people that are really close to me and like already trust me. And so that was like so frustrating for me. And so I realized in that, like, if I'm not, like, if all I'm getting is silence, I have to change what I'm doing, and I have to like turn it up and like make people believe me, because obviously like nobody believes me, like even the people that trust me. So this kind of comes into like how I started becoming more confident, and like how I actually did that, because I was like realizing like now I need this confidence. So like how do I do it? So going back to like my biggest fears, basically explaining myself and like convincing myself to people, like those are my two biggest fears. Like I hate having to do that, and that's like what I felt like Beachbody was like forcing me to do, which sucked, but I was like, well, maybe this is a good thing. And so I was just sick of like having to convince people and explain myself. And so what I realized is people will believe when you are confident, because they just like trust that in you. And so basically where this belief comes from is investing in yourself, like investing in your journey, like doing the programs, like working through all of that. And then also like PD books were huge for me, like literally the game changer. I read so many PD books like these past few months, like throughout my coaching journey. I've like read, oh my gosh, it's just insane. Like read the PD. It's so good. And then surrounding myself with like-minded, supportive people. I realized that like, when I started my yoga teacher training, all these people were into like health and wellness already. And I was like, holy crap, like this is easier. Like I'm getting like, this is starting to become easier because I feel supported, even though like maybe I'm not even like getting direct support, but it's like from these people that are actually into this lifestyle. And so if that's possible, like if you want to gain confidence, like read PD and like fill your life up. Like, what did I write down in my notes? I said, create a life that cultivates like strength and confidence. So like create a life by like supporting yourself with people that are like-minded, and like these PD books and like just everything that you know will help you become like more confident in like who you want to be. And then another thing, Brene Brown talks about this. She's my like favorite author all time. She's so good. She talks about like vulnerability and like being fully you and like sharing your authenticity with people. And so that's like what I really wanted to do, because I saw other people doing that and they were confident in that like vulnerability, which is kind of like a conundrum, but like it makes sense and it works, because you see people doing this on like social media, like being vulnerable, and then they're getting like all these comments and like interaction, and just I don't know, they seem confident. So you like trust them and you want to like be a part of their journey and you want to hear from them. So I was like, that's what I need to do, is like the vulnerability stuff. And so doing that is basically, I realized like what Beachbody already tells us to do, like so many coaches and so many wake up calls. It's like committing to the hard things. Yes, it's so worth it. So committing to the hard things for me, like with Beachbody, was transformation posts. I remember like having a conversation with Carly. I don't even know if it was on like Voxer or something, but I was just like, what do I need to do? And she was like, transformation posts. Maybe this wasn't like a team call, but like every Sunday night, like post your transformation pictures. And like, you don't even have to say like anything in relation to the program. Like every now and then it's really good to do that, but you can just like share what's like been going on in your life. Like you don't even have to share a picture that's like too vulnerable for you. Like you can share, like I know Noelle does this all the time, like shares a picture of like her in like fully dressed, like clothed, like pre Beachbody, and then like now like fully dressed. Like it's not like that vulnerable, but it's super powerful, because like you can see that like the face, like everything is like different, and like the feeling and all of that, and like through your words you can say what's different. So like transformation posts, vulnerability is the hard thing. Hard days, like I started leaning into like using harder times in your life. Like if you have a really rough day and like everything went wrong, like use that for your social media and like use it to like as an opportunity to be vulnerable and like share your story, because in doing that, like that will give you more confidence in just like taking that step. And then another thing, this was from a recent wake up call. I think it was like 2 weeks ago. She said, like the shameful parts of your stories, or like things that you have maybe never shared with anyone in the world. Like I know I haven't, like there were a few things, and I started sharing them on social media, just like how I felt like pre Beachbody with like my weight and just like my mindset and like the way that I was really mean to myself. And then after doing the programs and learning that like fitness is supposed to be good and like it's beneficial and supposed to like heal you and like focused on health and not all the like, I don't know, nitty gritty like details of calories and all that crap like nobody even cares about. But so that's like sharing that stuff that like was actually like really emotional and like tough for you, that like maybe you've never shared with anyone like in the world, which is what I did. And my boyfriend actually like reached out to me. He was like, you know, you've never told me this, like what the heck? And I was like, yeah, I don't know why, but like I just thought of it in a transformation post. And yeah, so like that's literally when I got like the most confidence, was leaning into the hard stuff, because that's where you grow the most, is like doing these hard things. And like you'll find more confidence, you'll find more belief in yourself and like who you are and like this journey. And honestly, I was thinking about it, and like social media is an easy place to start, like with all of this. Maybe not easy when you have like a huge following, but like as a new coach, you definitely, like, I don't know, if you don't have a lot of followers, like it's not as scary as like talking to someone one-on-one and like sharing this story of like how you felt pre Beachbody, like just like so insecure or whatever it is. And then the second thing is like this team is the best place to start, like leaning into the hard things and like doing things that scare you, because we are all so supportive. Like everyone here in this group is so supportive of the others. Like I love it. It's amazing. Like this community, the culture is so good. So like if you want to start doing the hard things and like becoming more confident in your coaching journey.
Interrupt you. One thing, Taylor, just make sure you click on your name and then click mute my audio.
Okay, wait.
It's all good.
Hi, Day.
Hi. Am I? Okay, wait.
Can you click on your name and then there should be an option to click mute my audio on it.
No.
Or are you on your iPhone? It might be at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah.
Or you can just turn your...
Kevin knows.
Oh, wait.
There you go. Good job. Okay, sorry. Go, Leanna.
So that's like the majority of what I wanted to share. I guess the last little piece of like leaning into the hard stuff and just like doing those daily things that are hard, like sharing your transformations and like PD, all that stuff. Like when you share like the hardest things, like when you had the worst day in the world on social media, and like use it, like give it like a positive spin and like use it as a way to like encourage others, it's honestly like healing for you and for the world around you, because like it's allowing you to like process through it and like getting it out there. And also it's going to help like other people who have gone through those like hard times resonate with you, and like they can process through that stuff as well. And then you can all share in it. And like with social media specifically, like people will reach out to you with those specific circumstances. Like they will reach out to you and they will just thank you. And like, even if they don't end up doing the Beachbody, like 21 day fix or anything like that, like that is just so worth it. Like knowing that they gained that kind of like shared connectedness and encouragement. And honestly, in the long run, if they keep following you like through your journey, they probably will sign up, because everybody does. So yeah, basically just like lean into the hard stuff and use it, and like that will grow you and give you more confidence. I think that's like all I have. I don't even know how long that was. Is that a good amount of time? Does anybody have any questions? I love our little group chat. Yay. Yes, use it as your fuel. Start scared is so true. That's like what I keep reading in my PD books lately. It's like go with the fear. Like go even though like fear is still there, like do it anyways because if it's like scary, it's probably a good thing and it's going to make you grow. Oh, right now I'm reading Big Magic, but I'm also still finishing up like 3 different books from yoga training. No, that You Are a Badass was the game changer for me. Like that was the best PD book. Like it makes you feel so like amazing, like a badass. Like it makes me feel so great. So read that, yes. Do I plan my posts ahead of time? I think mentally I do occasionally, but majority of the time I like just do whatever's happening in the moment because that's when I get the most engagement. Like I've noticed if I post a picture like of a past thing or like past event or whatever it is, I usually get less engagement like because people kind of know or maybe I'm just bad at that. So I kind of like think about them all throughout the day. I'm like constantly like kind of like coming up like creatively coming up with new posts. What is my favorite thing about coaching? I think my favorite thing, it's kind of like combined into like a few things. Um, so with music, I have always been into music and I'm a singer and I write music. And that was like always my dream, like growing up, like I always wanted to be like a singer. And it was because I always wanted to share like positivity with the world. And like I don't know. I just wanted to change people's lives with songs. And what I realized with music is that there's like such a disconnect. Like you put your songs out there and then you're just this artist and you're like, oh, I hope somebody like got that message I was sending out there, but you don't ever know. So like my favorite thing about coaching is the like one-on-one, like you get to engage with these people and see their life transforming as they do a program. It's like so personal and so vulnerable and it like takes you to that next level. And that's like what I love. Like I hate small talk. I love like connecting like on the deeper level. So that's probably my favorite thing. Miracle Morning. Yes, I just started listening to podcasts from the Miracle Morning. It's not like the book, but it's like the guy who wrote it is interviewing like famous or not famous, but like successful businessmen. I just started doing that. It's so good. How do I reach out to people? I usually reach out to like new followers. So like I'll check my followers pretty like consistently every day. And then I'll reach out to like any new followers if they like kind of vibe with me. Um, and I usually do like the hey girl message that like everybody else says to do. I'm just like, hey girl, like thanks for reaching out or thanks for commenting or thanks for following me. I just wanted to reach out and like say that I love this about your posts or I like give them like a compliment or I like try to connect it somehow of like why I'm reaching out, you know, or there have been times where I've like said, hey, like just wanted to reach out. Thanks for the follow. What brought you to my page? Jamie always says that one. And that one has worked really well and it like gets the conversation rolling really fast to like coaching. So that's really funny. I have a notebook with me, always writing down anything. Yes, Noelle, that's so good. I need to do that. I like put them in my phone. I have like a little slot for him. He'll be at Summit. Wait, the Miracle Morning guy? Yay! I do not use TeamZ, but I need to invest in like organization because I started out using like Wunderlist and that worked well, but it wasn't enough space to like put down information about each person. And then I've been like honestly using my notebook for like tracking different people because I connect with a lot of people, but a lot of people don't get serious about things. And so like the serious people about fitness and like wanting to like transform their lives, like those people I actually write in my notebook. So that's like, I don't know. I got to find more organization. Anything else? Thank you guys. This was so fun. Yay. I want to take a picture of you all. Okay, everybody should smile. Ready? Yay. Oh, that was awesome. I'm so excited.